All right. Share this thing. How do I share it? I don't know how to share it. I'm trying to figure this thing out. All right, let's see what we got here. Bear with me, y'all. What's going on, Cindy? I'm trying to figure out how to share this. What's up, bruh? What's going on? Thank you. Yes, I trying to look healthy. Trying to get more sleep. I work so much. I don't know how you share this thing. I'm trying to share it to a few groups on Facebook. See if that helps any. Just jamming a little bit. All right, hold on one second. See what we got here. All right. Awesome, Cindy. Yeah, I'm like not very good with the computer, so I'm trying to get better at it. And I'm trying to share this thing out there. Not really sure how. So I wanted to make a video, especially, man, I get all these messages every day, literally every day, from people who are really, trying to quit. And it's like, whew, this thing's tough. And, I mainly focus on heroin because, like, it had the strongest hold on me. But, I had alcohol. I mentioned that from here and there. And the alcohol was tough stuff, too. I mean, the alcohol that had a grip on me, but not nearly like the heroin did. And, I had dabbled in other stuff. So a lot of people are coming at me with different stuff, and it's bringing back, memories of things that I've experienced and whatnot. So this is, this is a great avenue to help people if you're trying to also participate in recovery and you have a hard time. So, let's see, when you were using, did you look at everyone and think they were on them as well if they were enjoying life? Talking about it first before you done hardcore in your addiction. That's a good question. I guess you'd say there could be some truth to that, Martinez. I mean, like, I don't know. I knew when people were using pills, I could tell. I could look at their eyes. I could see it. But I didn't know how people could be happy after a while, without using. So I appreciate the love and support. And I'll try the best I can to answer your questions, obviously, and give you guys just my insight. I bumped into a YouTube channel that I didn't even – you guys could slap me for this, but I did not know it was this big of a channel. I don't know if you guys have heard of CG Kid, but I don't know how I've had this channel for 3 years and never bumped into this guy's channel. And he does a lot of like personal experience explanations on withdrawals from a variety of drugs, from methamphetamine, heroin, adderal, lean. He even talks about smoking the incense, that stuff that was out that some people went permanently damaged in the brain from salvia. He talks about a variety of different things. And this guy has millions and millions and millions of views. And I could see how he titles his programs in such a way that draw in the crowds that pro users, people who just want to use, would listen to this, or even a non-user would see and go, wow, well, what does methamphetamine feel like? So they'll click in and check it out. And, I don't know how long he's had his channel for, but that guy's got a lot of views. It's really wild seeing that. Someone asked me recently, like, how do you have so many views on your day 7 video? And, I almost wanted to answer, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I have so many views on day 7, but a lot of people, I think, relate to day 7. And then I don't know if YouTube's been pushing that video for me, because a lot of people are like, how did this end up in my recommended? Hey, what's up, Melissa? Thank you, Sonia. That's awesome. What's up, William? Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. You know what I mean? And I have a gentleman who's helping me out with the little landing page. We're trying to get it together. I got to write up a bio and stuff like that and describe my mission and what I'm trying to do here on YouTube and throughout the web and pretty much throughout the world, because I get people in Egypt, Europe, you name it, in the Asian countries, South Africa, Canada, Mexico, people who can't speak English. Their wife might know a little English and they'll write me and stuff. So, man, this thing's really growing. It's really, really awesome. I'm able to touch places all across the world. And then I also have the other channel, my YouTube channel. I changed the name. It's called Myth Vision Podcast. And so we talk about, oh, God knows, we talk about a variety of mythologies and other stuff. So, yeah, Oh, thank you, Cindy. Appreciate you sharing that. But it's all over the world. This thing is growing. So I titled this thing Life After Drugs with Derek, right? And that's actually going to be the motto of my landing page that we're getting set up, so I could start doing emails, monthly emails, and sending this thing out. I'm trying to get more people involved. And who knows, someone might start sponsoring this thing and I can go out there and start speaking, or who knows what, start reaching more people. I saw, what's the famous guy? He's got 16 years clean, and he's a famous guy. He was on MTV and all these different programs. What's going on, Keith? Yeah, I can't remember his name. How do I not know this guy's name? He's famous. He's well-known. He's a big spiritual guy. 16 years clean, and he was on heroin too. I'd love for him to see my channel and go, because he's sitting fine with the money. Fly me out and we can have a sit-down talk. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'm very open to stuff like that. So that's I get nervous public speaking. Who doesn't get a little nervous unless you're so used to it? So, but saving lives. What's more important, being a little nervous or getting up there and being yourself and helping people get clean and steering people in the right direction if they want to be steered? I'm not trying to push anybody. I just tell them my experience and what worked for me. So appreciate it, House. It's the best thing I ever did and the hardest thing I've ever done. I still fight day to day with personal stuff. No, Keith, he was not on Celebrity Rehab that I'm aware of. Now you got me wanting to wonder what his name is again. I can't think of his name. I cannot remember. So I'm done thinking about it until it just comes up. Where was I going with this? I can't even remember where I was going. A lot of people tell me that, son. They tell me I need to be a counselor. So I don't know. I'm just here to help people if they want it. And I don't want to BS anybody. Don't want to make anyone do anything they feel like they have to do. Look, if you can get clean and not have to go to meetings, thumbs up. That's great, because I know there's people who've done it, right? I'm just telling you what worked for me. And a lot of people go into religion, right? They'll get into a specific religion or something. Some people can't accept the idea of a God, right? Or a God figure behind a cloud. And that's understandable. Some people just can't. For whatever reason, they can't think of a higher power beyond themselves that might be metaphysical. But either way, at the end of the day, people have been successful, whether you're atheist, agnostic, or a believer in a particular religion, and they've gotten clean. And I've had quite an interesting journey over the past few years of my research, and this is part of my other show that I have. It's called Myth Vision Podcast. And so I talk similar language and telling you similar stories. So, I'm big into like just viewing the world in a different way. And that's part of me being clean. When I was feeling guilt, shame, remorse, all that kind of stuff. And I was living day to day, waking up, trying to feel better. That's really the goal. Like, you just want to escape. You want to feel better, escape the pain. And you keep using to try and escape that pain. Every time I get clean, though, my brain starts working in hyperdrive, which is why I can't sleep for the first 2-3 weeks getting off heroin. You're laying there and you're thinking. Well, I like to think of, deep philosophy, deep things like that. But this go around, because it's not the first time I've tried getting clean and got clean, I've actually started to apply things in my life. And it's very difficult because some things, it's touchy because some things are actually, you stand for something, but you want to try and compromise. And I'm speaking like, say, me and Kurt, okay, me and my brother. If you know about my channel, my younger brother's in jail right now. If you don't know, I'm kind of letting you know. He's in jail right now and will not be released till December the 25th, all because of drugs. And he didn't go to his parole officer, take his urinalysis, then go to rehab as was required, or he would go to jail. And now he's serving time in jail. Well, how do you do that and balance things out? Very, very difficult. It's very difficult. And it even goes with other things other than drugs, with your children when they act up. Or my youngest, I treat him different than I do my middle and my oldest, and I don't mean to. He gets away with murder, and I'm like, hey, stop treating him like that. But in my head, it was like, what about the oldest, So I'm not trying to rabbit trail into all these different things. But I am trying to say life has not changed in the sense that struggles still come. I have better solutions to my problems. So life after these drugs, I have a way of solving them. Sometimes my way is hard. My pops from Canada, he'll tell me, he's like, dude, you are hard-headed. You're a knucklehead. He tries to help me with my wife, and I am hard-headed. I'm telling you. At the same time, I feel justified and right. So when you're right about something, say, what do you do? Do you stand for what you believe is true, or do you compromise and humble yourself even if, and this is part of the whole resentment thing, do you humble yourself even if they're wrong to try and make things right? So this is a dilemma I'm in even at this moment in my head. So I'm just sharing a moment with you guys that I'm a hard-headed mofo, but I'm clean and I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to keep staying clean. I have to protect myself. So that's it. I'm going to do what I have to do to stay clean, and whatever that is. Let me catch up with you guys. I've been making a lot of new friends in recovery. I'm getting to know the top people. I will tell them about you. Thank you, Cindy. You have a gift. You are motivational, inspirational to each one of us. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for praying for Kurt. I hope your brother follows in your footsteps. Me too. I love that. Kurt's unique though, man. He could really help some people. He's gone down deep in the hole, and I've gone down deep, trust me, but he surpassed me. If we were ranked in the military, he would be in charge of me, okay, in terms of the depth Kurt has gone into abusing and using. So I was bringing up something. CG Kid, right? I told him, I was like, man, I wrote him on one of his videos. He gets so many people who comment and so many views. I said, man, this is interesting how many views you have. I'm wondering where his audience is coming from, how he's getting this many people to view his channel. He's got millions and millions of views. Like, the strongest channel or the strongest video I have is day 7. And it's almost at 1 million. 1 million views. I'm shocked that it's gotten that many views. But CG Kid's got like 3 million views on one video, and he's got millions of views on multiple videos. And I'm like, holy crap. This guy, he knows what he's talking about too. When you listen to him, you can tell he's familiar with the science behind a lot of this and research from doctors and scientists on how the brain works and addiction and how to describe what it feels like to be high and all these different things. So, yes. Yes, I will be careful when Kirk is out. Hey, Derek, I've been sharing your videos on social media to do my best to spread the message. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just, like I said, I wanted to make a quick little get together. Life after drugs is, at first you think there's no way to live life without it, you know? There's no way to live life after these drugs. You don't think you can. And then when you get a little bit of time, even 1 month, you start thinking it's possible. And the longer you go, the more you realize it can be done. At the same time, doesn't mean that life just gets easier. Problems still come up, especially after all you've done when you were using. So now you got to solve the problems you've already built up. And then you have to deal with daily problems that come after that. And I'm a hard-headed guy. So it's very tough for me with my pride and being an alpha male to humble myself, even if I am right. That's the hardest time. If I'm wrong, it's hard, but I can usually somewhat tell when I'm in the wrong. But when I think I'm right, oh, goodness gracious, somebody hit me in the head. It's just the way it is, even if I am right. So y'all say a little prayer for me because, you know, I'm a knucklehead. And that's just the truth. It doesn't necessarily, it gets better, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's totally easy after you're off drugs. So keep that in mind. I hope the music in the background is not too loud for y'all. So I'm about to go see Kurt tomorrow. So when I go see him, I'm going to tell everybody loves you, bro. They've been writing and, you know, give him some uplift, some positivity. And hopefully he gets out and he clings to his older brother. And I just want to see him be successful. You know, I've seen him almost die so many times from this thing. Walked into his house. He's hiding in his room, you know, because he's paranoid from all the drugs. But at the same time, he's ashamed and he's scared. And I'm like, dude, what do we have to do to get you into detox? What do we have to do to get you into rehab? Like anything to get you help. It just sucks, man. So many people. I wish I could just press a button and it would help, you know. But it's so much harder done than said, you know. Let him know what prayer. I will, Randy. I will. Kurt knows that there's people online who want to see him come out and do a channel. I told him, I said, first focus on getting clean, bro. You could do videos and that'll help him, seeing the support and the love. It helped me. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you guys. Your comments and stuff, they've carried me through some dark moments early on in recovery. Like I've had a lot of people who've commented. It saved my ass a couple times because I needed to know it was doing something, that I was getting out of me. See, life after drugs, you're so self-centered in the drugs, right? Well, after drugs, you're still self-centered, but you're trying to escape. And I'm still to this day self-centered at times. But I'm still trying to escape. And I do that, you know, I'm working on it. When I see that it helps someone on YouTube, that I'm clean and I'm successfully off of heroin, I'm not on any maintenance drugs. I didn't go that route. I'm not knocking them. I'm not trying to put them down. I'm just saying I didn't go that route. And I was successful this go around. It helps me to know someone's being helped by that. And it tells me, okay, what I'm doing is actually helping people, and it keeps me going. And that's why I recommend people make a channel. If you're outspoken or a person who's okay with putting it out there, that's an option. Some people do not like, they want to be completely private about it, and I can understand that as well. I'm just different. I'm the guy, when you're walking into a place and there's 100 people and everybody's quiet, I'm the guy who's like, hey, is it not warm in here or what? And everybody, my wife's going, shut up. Why are you? You know, I'm very, very open. I'm transparent. It can be bad. It can be good. There's pros and cons to me in many ways. So the same goes for each and every one of us, right? But we got to find our strength and put that into trying to help other people, whatever that might be. And wherever that might be in life, you know. That's what I'm about. That is what keeps me going. Life after, right? Man, I love you guys. I really do. And I'm very thankful for this channel. I'm glad that I didn't make a mistake along the process of YouTube, ended up knocking my videos off or something. I'm glad I didn't relapse. This is really, really cool. Christmas is right around the corner. That means the winter solstice is upon us. For those who are into astronomy or any type of astrology or anything like that, there's some significance to that. The birth of Christ, if you will. Some interesting mythology stuff and spiritual stuff. So there's so much to be said. I have a lot of thoughts, and I want to be able to put them out there. So keep supporting, keep giving me positive messages, keep on, you know, showing some love, and hopefully Kurt comes out too, man, and he does this. If he does, you know, I'll be pushing his ass. I'll say, Kurt, get on there, make another video. Come on, bro. They need to hear it. He's been in jail now almost 70-something days, so I'm sure he's got some stories. And, you know, it's very important. I think he gets that out there. Someone needs to hear about how he was shooting up coke, shooting up heroin, shooting up all this stuff at the same time while drinking and he was shooting up Suboxone. What do, you know? What's going on, dude? Yeah. He's shooting up all this stuff, man. And I've seen him happy at times when he wasn't on it, but he went back. What made him keep coming back? There's an underlying problem that needs to be dealt with. And living forward on practicing new principles in your life is what's going to help you, you know, keep shining that light. But you're going to hide that light as soon as you relapse. Or as I think the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous would say, you know, cut yourself off from the spirit of light, right? Once you drink or once you use, if you're an addict like I am, you know, you shut yourself off. So I will, Cindy. I absolutely will. And hey, I'm going to go see him tomorrow morning. I don't know what time. The wife you are scheduled to see Kurt for tomorrow at 11:40 a.m. She just set that up. So that's good news. Gives me a little time to sleep in. I'm currently editing videos for my other channel that I have, Myth Vision Podcast, it's called. I'll put a link in the description of this live feed, but I've also attached the video or the channel to this channel. So if you guys are into mythology or into, you know, controversial topics and stuff like that surrounding religion or anything like that, definitely subscribe and check out that channel. If you're not, don't waste your time, because some of the stuff might be offensive to you if you're, you know, of a particular faith or anything like that. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I do leave it open for people because a lot of people in recovery, you know, they've experienced some stuff in life, so they have an open mind to different ideas. And I just want to make that clear. Thank you, James. Merry Christmas to you. And man, we're going to have a good Christmas. Dude, I've got a little bit of money, you know. I couldn't say this. Last Christmas, I went all out. I got a 7 feet wide, 16 foot long, enclosed, badass trailer with 4 four-wheelers for the kids. Broke. I even took out a loan. I'm still paying on that loan to this day. Broke, right? Last Christmas. Not happening again. I struggled all year. So, especially when the hurricane hit, I had nothing. So I was like, okay, let's not risk this. Bradley, I've been clean since October the 28th, 2015. So I've been over 3 years clean. I don't know the exact amount of days, but how long since October 28th, 2015? And that's 1,143 days. Appreciate it, brother. So I don't count my days, but people always talk about that. Why are you still counting your days? I literally have to Google every time. I'm like, all right, how many days since? And I put that amount of days because some people might click it and go, why is he still putting that he's, this many thousands of days clean? It's my journal. It's one day when I'm 60 looking back, I'll go, wow. Now I'm 72,643 days or whatever. So I've been on, just giving you a heads up on the drugs. I was on heroin, the worst. And then, of course, your painkillers, but heroin became the ultimate end. Was hooked on Adderall for a while. I was speedballing with that. I wasn't hooked to shrooms or anything like that. I did a lot of pop and ecstasy back in the day. I didn't do the modern day Molly, MDMA stuff. Didn't do that. I was popping the ecstasy pills back in the day. Smoked a lot of pot in high school, and but mainly alcohol and opiates in general. Everything from Ultram or Tramadol to Vicodin, Percocet, Oxycontin. The Oxycontins, around the time I was really in my bad pill phase, the Oxycontins turned from crushables to gel. And so then I was really pissed off because now I can't crush them, right? So now you got to swallow freaking 2 of them to get the high you get with 1 of them when you snort. Anyway, that just gives you a general idea of how long ago I was doing the pills, if you are familiar with that. And then Opanas became the end game before heroin. Uh-oh. Laura says, hey, Derek, thanks for subscribing to my new recovery channel. I appreciate the help supporting my startup. Yes, check out Laura Mello. She's got her YouTube channel on recovery. We gotta get people out there now. We gotta make this thing grow because, look, someone might need to hear what Laura has to say, not what I got to say. They may not relate to me. Someone might relate to CG Kid. I mentioned him earlier. I didn't know this dude had a channel. He's got millions of views. How do you miss something like that? After being on here for 3 years, I didn't know this. And that guy's got some excellent editing skills, and he's got a lot of, you could tell he's educated on it. So, Laura, check her channel out. She's right here in the comment section. Merry Christmas to you. Have you ever been arrested with possession? No. If I'm going to tell you like this, if I'd have got pulled over, I have been with the dope dealer. Listen to this, y'all. This room that I'm in right now used to be where my dope dealer lived. He used to live in this room that I am currently doing these videos in. And I used to crawl through that window that's behind here when he would leave, and I'd hunt in this room looking for his stash. And I would find it. Now listen to this. This is no BS. I would find his stash tucked away inside of a couch or hidden inside a pillow. And I would search fast and hard. I would weigh his bag. I would go outside because this was the tan heroin, right? It was tan. It wasn't black tar. And I would grab dirt. And I would put dirt in the bag, all right, and then weigh the scale after I pulled out the heroin so that it weighed the same as when he left. And then the next day when I was sick, I would come buy dirt heroin from him because I had no other dealer, and that was it. That's how obsessive and crazy I was. He used to live in this room. So it's crazy. It's just wild. Some of the weak spots are your strongest, areas. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. And no, I was getting somewhere with that, with the possession, right? Have I been arrested with possession? No. I did get a felony charge while drunk at a customer's house, stealing from a customer. I would never have done that if I wasn't drinking. But, you learn and you live. I was riding with the dope dealer, and I'm just saying dope dealer because no names are needed. And, he would give me a little bit just so that I wouldn't be sick. If I rode with him, and if we did get pulled over, which no matter what, he'd give me a little if I rode with him. But if we did get pulled over, he would tell me, hey, you need a suitcase, which means you need to put the heroin in your ass so that there is no getting arrested. Okay. Never had to do that, thank God. But that is something that I would ride with him for, just to try and keep feeding my habit, and really to keep feeling normal, which was really just feeding the beast. Good. Show her some love, Cindy. Good. Cindy Moore tried to mention you in one of my videos, but I couldn't remember. We all did crazy things. Isn't that true? We all did. Just watch your 7th day of withdrawal, and you're doing amazing, buddy. Watch my peoples go through this horrible addiction. Much respect. Yes, thank you, Jacob. And I appreciate that. And hey, subscribe to the channel, man. I can use all the love. Look, YouTube gives me a little bit of change from monetizing. So it's not coming out of nobody's pocket, and it's helping save people's lives. And that's really awesome. I get people who hit me up, check me out on Instagram, Facebook. You can message me. I actually respond. I may not respond, immediately, because there's a lot of people who do write me. But I do communicate with people. Stay in touch. You can see on Facebook. You can see like my family. You can see a lot of personal stuff. I'm pretty open. I'm an open book. Yes, Ryan Donnelly, man, wish he was still here. What do you think about marijuana? What do I think about marijuana? Well, I think marijuana is a plant. But that being said, for me, this is all personal, right? Marijuana for me was way better than when I was doing pills. So I was able to still maintain my business. I did landscaping and lawn care. I would just get high and I'd go sit on my mower and cut people's grass and do a fine job. I'd be able to wake up in the morning and go home at night, and didn't have this obsession like I did with later on with pills. But I'm an addictive guy, and I was hooked on it. So I do know when I got off of smoking pot, my thinking cleared up. I was capable of thinking better. This is just me now. I'm not knocking anybody else, because that's like small fries compared to, the harder stuff, So I've had people who talk about wanting to withdraw or get off heroin, or not heroin, marijuana. And I had to get off of it. And I was extremely irritable. It made me extremely irritable. I was agitated. It made me a little uncomfortable. There is like if you are a habitual nonstop smoker all day, it can cause you minor withdrawals, but it's not the same. It's nothing like what you experience with hard stuff. So in case you're wondering, I don't know what you want me to answer for that. I do know though that they are finding that it has helped a lot of people with, a variety of different diseases. So what do you do with that? It's tough. So look at morphine, right? Morphine has saved people's asses in deathbeds or in serious surgical situations where the pain could have been unbearable, yet morphine numbed them, right? And people abuse morphine, and you see what it does. You see how people on opiates are hooked, morphine and all the other opiate forms, yet it can be a miracle drug at the same time. So it's a little bit of an angel and a little bit of the devil at the same time. It can be. You are never irritable, boy. What's up, Dad? Look, Ghost Dragon's my pops, y'all. He's in here showing love. Yeah, he's getting on to me right now, and that's kind of one of the reasons I started making this video. I was the life after. It's not easy all the time, y'all, but it is way better than it ever was, and it's gonna stay way better because I'm gonna stay clean. So love you, Dad. I'm glad you're here and showing me some love, and I'm trying to take advice. I'm trying. I am. I really am. So. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Ghost Dragon. That's my pops from Canada, and he has PhDs in addiction. And at some point, Dad, I'm calling you out so everybody hears it. You can't run away. We're going to have to do a program where we talk about it. I know we recorded one time, but We need to take questions from you guys and gals, and whatever you're wanting answered, it does not matter. You want it answered to the best of our ability and his ability. He's all about trying to save people's lives as well, and this is a whole my point of the channel, and he realizes that. So we're trying to do that. All the love. I swear people in recovery are some of the best people I've ever met in my life. Yeah, thank you, Laura. And yes, same with you and same with everybody in here. Look, we've experienced hell. We know what it feels like to hurt, right? Like all of us have hurt. We don't want to see other people's hurt. And as long as we're working on ourselves, I see some, like you said, drug addicts that are, trying to, even drug addicts who are active in addiction, they're selfish, but that's because of they've got a lot of underlying problems, self-centeredness. But long story short, it seems to me they can be some of the greatest people you ever met, because the extreme measures they would go into with their addiction, if they apply the same measures to positive life, a positive lifestyle, and into areas that better themselves, then that's usually what you see, a total transformation. Unlike anything you see with an average person who's equally sitting in the gray area their whole life. They're always kind of normal. When you've seen someone at darkness and then you see someone glow bright as the sun, that's a beautiful thing. What up, Cameron? I am 30 years old, or 30 years young, let me say. Let me get this jam back on. I was trying to get the daggone, I was trying to send this thing out to some of these, heroin support groups on Facebook. And I didn't know how to send this live stream out there. Like, I'm not very techie. I'm not techie, but I'm not very techie. So, I don't know. I don't know if my internet's acting up or what. Seems to me I'm working fine. It's loading slow, though. Let me exit some of this stuff. Okay. Especially these live Q&A, man. You're one of my favorite people to hear from. I relate to you a lot. Hope things are doing good. They're doing good, Ronnie. Appreciate it. Oh, all right, Ricky. Look, write me on Facebook, man, or Instagram, and keep me updated. A lot of people tell me, they'll write me. I'll initially respond, and then they check in with me. They're like, "Hey, I'm 7 days today, man. I'm making it. I think I can do this." And I'm right. I swear to everything. I'm putting the energy I put into this channel into what I'm writing there. So you know how I am. And if you heard me speak, that vibe I'm putting there, I'm putting that energy towards you. You can do this, man. You get 7 days, just go 7 more. I'm telling you, you get 14 days, double that at 30 days. You're in the good. You're in the clear. 30 days, you're in the clear. Now do whatever it takes to maintain that. Whatever it takes, wherever you got to go, whatever you got to do to stay clean, man. It's the best life you can't ask for anything better. Yes, there's some tough ass times. Right now I'm going through a tough time, but I'm okay. I'm giving myself a hard time. So, I'm a knucklehead. Look, my dad's probably still watching. He's probably going, yep, he's a freaking knucklehead. And I know I am. I'm a little shit, man. Oh, man. If you knew half the shit, I don't tell you guys everything, but I do know working on, these qualities I keep telling you about, honesty, working on your resentments, working on these principles of being open and trying to be better. It goes so far. People go, do you think about using? Do you still think about using? And I'm like, no, I don't. I honestly don't. I'm not saying I don't have a dream like once every 3 months or something like that where I'm like, oh man, thank God that was a nightmare. But I don't think about using. My problem solving at first was, let me get high. I'll hurt them I'll hurt them. Yeah. By sticking a needle in my own arm, I'll hurt them. Oh, I'll show her. Go, 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 go. I'll show her. And I hurt myself. The whole time it was me hurting me, thinking I'm going to hurt them. It's like a kamikaze bomber, you know? I'm going to go hurt them, all right, by hurting myself. So today I solved my problems not using drugs, but other avenues. And some of them aren't the best. My pops, Ghost Dragon, can tell you that, you know, I close off. I have a fight or flight mechanism. It's natural, but it also is my pride too. So there's like, what's my pride and what is like me really protecting? That's the gray area. I don't know. I'm getting kind of deep here for some of y'all, but if you know where I'm coming from, I block off when I feel like I'm being attacked or you're coming at me and I know that I'm not going to respond in a good way. So I cut off my conversation with you, like with my wife. And she's like, we need to talk about this. And I'm like, get it? Like, I don't have anything to say. Mama told me if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. And so my pride kicks in and I just get, and she probably feels the same way. We're both like clash heads. I don't know. It's just part of life. We're 12 years married and we still have our ups and downs. And it's just, I'm a human being, right? Let me catch up a little bit. 21 years on heroin, need to stop. That's a long time, Ricky. And I hope you do, man. I really hope you do. Oh, the wife scheduled an appointment for me to go see Kurt. And I'm going to go see him tomorrow at 11:40. And she just responded because I never responded back to her making that visitation. This is a perfect example. I'm letting y'all in on this. She wrote back, "You're welcome, by the way. Geez." Oh, man. Lord have mercy, right? I don't know. My dad says it's cute. I don't know. So we all go through hard times, but we keep going each and every single day. No matter how many times we get knocked down, we get back up. True that. We have to. If we don't, what's the point if you don't try to get back up, right? I was the same way. Self-infliction is addicting in itself. That is true. And I hear a lot of people like cut themselves, stuff like that. I was never anything like that, but I could see how something like that is easily done, especially when we're hurting ourselves by doing the drugs to try and show the other person. What do you do, right? Yes, Laura. Ricky, message Laura if you have any. You want to talk to someone. Can't even get a vein anymore. Damn, Ricky. Yeah, man, it's time, bro. It's definitely time, bro. I think it's awesome that you quit smoking too, Derek. Look, today, right? I went to the dentist office on my way home, really to surprise the wife, but she has no clue because she's probably not even watching this. This down here is crowded, right? Real crowded. It stains bad. If you watch my other videos, you might even notice a slight dark here. I don't smoke, but back when I used to smoke, that would stain. Today, I take care of myself. I can go to the dentist. I have insurance, so it didn't cost me a deductible or nothing. I got my teeth cleaned. This is life after heroin, people. I got my teeth cleaned. I can shine now. I'm happy, you know. It's there's so many things that come with being clean. It just naturally came. Freaking when I was getting clean, the only thing I could think about was like I was depressed because I had no money and had no energy. So you have no energy, you have no money, and you're going, how am I going to get money? And that's all you can think about is those little immediate things. You don't even know where this thing goes. You have no clue how far you're going to go. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate it. It makes me happy that my teeth are pretty, but they are not straight. I need to get braces eventually, I guess. I don't know. I'm more focused on right now just surviving. So happy wife, happy life, Derek. Are you talking to my dad in private message right now, Laura? Sounds to me you guys are in cahoots right now. Thanks, Ricky. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, everybody there, everybody in here is amazing, Ricky said. Stop smoking. That's awesome. It's tough to stop smoking because it's so subtle. It's like heroin can kick your ass to a point where you're like, I have to quit. It's killing me, right? Or another drug, whatever drug it might be. Adderall, Percocet, meth, crack, heroin, coke, whatever it might be. It'll kick your ass and then you're like, I got to quit. I just overdosed or my heart almost stopped or whatever, right? With smoking, you're smoking and you don't feel like you're dying. You don't feel like it's killing you. You slowly die and the effects creep up on you over a long period of time. So it's very difficult to want to quit something so easy to do without immediate damage or even short-term damage. It takes a long time usually for the damage to occur. Usually, I don't know. There's probably rare cases where people get cancer real quick. I will, as soon as this video is over, I'm afraid I'll mess it up if I try to do it at the same time. Okay. Yes, I hope Kurt is going to make it, Pops. I've known a couple of people who have done that. They were tired of being in pain but didn't know how to stop until you run upstairs. That's true, Ricky. Get winded way quick. Like way, way too quick. Do you think if you were a lot older and an 80-year-old retired grandpa, would you ever have a drink or anything again? I don't, because I'm like, I have a philosophy I live by, and that is the here and the now. And that can be a good thing. Well, to me, that's a really good thing. But at the same time, as long as I'm in the right state of mind, that's a good thing. But I don't really know what's going to happen later in my life. I just know what's going to happen right now. And as long as I keep it in the right now at all times, then I know what will happen later in life. So I don't think about later in life. I think about right now. As long as I think about right now and do what I'm supposed to right now, I won't have to worry about later in life, because later in life will be what right now is. And that's very good. And it'll be positive. So that's my philosophy. You can't, when I first got clean, I would say in the meetings, how do I stop this thing forever? How do I make sure I never use again? And they always chuckled. I never understood it at first. I was upset because I was like, why are you laughing at this question? And they'd go, welcome, my name's whatever, and I'm an addict or I'm an alcoholic, right? And they would express to me, it's you can't think what's going to happen later, And if you look at statistics, a lot of people relapse. It's extremely, extremely, high. So if you want to really have a successful recovery, you have, they say it in the meetings, but it ain't just in the meetings. It's in everything. You have to be willing to go to extreme measures, really, to prepare and to protect yourself so that you don't relapse. And a lot of things you need to set up early in recovery, I believe, early on, right off the bat. You go to certain meetings and they say, yeah, let's do the 12 steps, right? And they'll say, we're going to do a step a month for 12 months. I think you need to get all the shit that's on your shoulders off of your shoulders as soon as possible. Do not wait. I would jump on it. I am so about, let's get this weight off so you can feel free. And there's people who get the immediate spiritual experience. Some it's progressive. Either way, you can get the daggone weight off of your shoulders by getting rid of resentments, focusing on how to forgive yourself for things you've done when you really lost all control. It's not even, yes, it's our fault, but it's the disease. It's the beast, It's like saying someone who's addicted to eating and they're overweight, right? It's like saying, after they started losing weight, they're going to beat themselves up for all the donuts and all the sugar foods and candies that they ate. Well, if they have a disease that is centered in the mind and the body, are you going to say you're a morally evil guy or girl because you've lost control with your thinking process? Your brain is rewired now. Very difficult to explain to someone who's not aware, but it's important. Living in the present moment, a huge part of recovery. Now that's coming from my pops. If you would comment, Dad, how many years have you worked in the hospital helping drug addicts? Because I know when we talked, you said you had like 120 patients at a time. It's just like way overloaded up there. There's like an epidemic of opiate abuse and other drugs. How many years do you have under your belt for everybody in here so they could see? I can't wait to start yawning and throwing up. Sorry to hear that, Ricky. I yawned a lot, and the tears start coming down your face. That's part of the process. It does get better. Isn't that a cliche? We hate to hear, but it's true. You can do it. That's true. Everybody's encouraging, man. You just got to make that step and follow through with it, brother. Cool. Let's see. We can't change the past and we don't know the future. Wasted energy trying to control those two. Use that energy now. True that. I've been clean 3 months from prescription med and I'm still having withdrawals, I think. I don't know, Donna. I couldn't tell you whether you're having withdrawals or not. You might be still feeling in some form of effects. There might be some afterlash type of experience you might be feeling from that, because I know just my experience. My withdrawals lasted 2 weeks, maybe barely past that. And I say that with the long-term withdrawal. You have your acute withdrawal and then you have your long-term withdrawal. But then again, when the pain withdrawals go away, there's still symptoms that occur long after. Like sneezing. I sneezed a lot. I was lacking energy. I didn't feel good. My back would get a little irritable every once in a blue. And that could still be from getting off, but it does get better. It does. And the longer you get off, dude, I thought at half a year, I was, yeah. And then after I had 1 year, I thought to myself, I said, holy crap. I'm just now starting to feel somewhat normal now after 1 year. And I didn't realize how much, it takes a long time for the body to really heal. 17 years at the hospital, my dad was at. 15 years of post-secondary education. So he's familiar with the brain and how addiction affects us and how to successfully recover. And this is why I really want to do some videos with him. Plus, by the way, he's getting, and I'm not going to say how much he's getting paid, but he's up there in terms of medically in the medical field for this. So they pay top dollar to guys like him, and he wasn't even getting the top dollar. He did this because it's a passion of his at a hospital. So he could have done private practice and made a lot more money. He did this because a flood of people were needing this, and that's how he met me. But long story short, I want to do videos where you're not hearing me just tell you my perspective or, hey, this is my experience. You're hearing a man who studied the brain and understands the human anatomy and how it works with addiction. You're not going to hear a subjective perception of, well, this is what heroin felt like withdrawing for me. So many people have different stories. I've had my day 7 video criticized by so many people. Oh, hell no, you can't feel better by day 7. Well, yeah, I felt better for day 7 at that point because I just drank a coffee. Imagine what it was doing to my endorphins that were just now starting to come back to norm or a little bit better. And I was high at the moment off caffeine. Then I would go through a low and my back would hurt again. So the video I did in day 7 looks like, oh, he can't be withdrawing. Well, that is my experience. I was. Genetically, I might be different than you and on. So I'd like to do some shows with him explaining things, but answering your questions. Because you are going through something yourself and you need to hear something. We'll go over general topics, but if we can answer some of your particular questions, that'd be great. I know you would really appreciate that because I've had a lot of questions answered by him for months. We would spend hours on the phone talking about this thing. And I learned a lot about myself and a lot about how someone of his skill and where he's coming from, what they ask and why they ask these questions of us. And I got a long ways to go, y'all. I really do. I got a lifelong journey to go, but I'm far away from where I was. Does that make sense? Thank you, James. For that, I think he's talking to you, Pops. The tips and tricks won't be up till tomorrow, but you can watch my latest video, me crying like a baby, keeping it real. Ain't that the truth? Hey, Laura's crying like a baby in her new video, and that she's wearing her heart on her sleeve. Show her some love. Subscribe to her channel, by the way, and make sure you guys keep touching base with us, because believe it or not, the more you communicate with Laura, the better off Laura is going to be, and she could be used as a tool as well in the long term to helping other addicts. Someone's going to go to Laura and say, "I love you, Laura, more than I love Derek." And no offense, because everybody has someone's going to watch my channel and go, "I was so much more of a fan of Ryan Donnelly. I like your channel, but Ryan Donnelly was my guy." Dude, I am not here to divide or anything. I want everybody to be successful, and show Laura's channel some love. And, we appreciate that. Were you depressed when first in recovery? And if so, when did it lift? And even did you feel like your old self again? Ooh, good question. I was depressed early on, and I felt better when I go to meetings and hear people. But after a while, I think that's what really helped me for a short period of time, but it would go away, and it wasn't, consistent. And you have to keep maintaining something so that you don't go back into the slump. Once I got my job and I had a mission I had to accomplish other than just going to a meeting. When I got employed and I was starting to work, pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, that actually helped me. I had structure. I was outside of my comfort zone. It really helped me feel like I'm living more than just for myself. Going to meetings was great early on, and I didn't even have a job at first. I really didn't. And it took time. But when Christmas came around and I did not have money to get the kids Christmas presents, and I went to an Alcoholics Anonymous Christmas party where people gave my children a gift because I couldn't afford it, that was like, okay, they're great people, but I need to do something, So I took a leap of faith, and I got a job at a very low-paying car wash where there's a lot of homeless prostitution and a lot of drugs taking place right there next to this car wash. And I'm going, really? You brought me out of addiction to put me right next to addiction, right? And then I got hired to where I'm working at now, and I moved up the ranks, and I'm a supervisor. So I still get depressed at times because I'm lonely on the road and I miss my wife and kids. And that's pretty much where my depression kicks in anymore. But I escape that depression by focusing on research. I like to study philosophy, religions, myths, hypothesis of ideas of things, all sorts of stuff. And I have in my other channel, Myth Vision Podcast is the name of the channel. I have it on this channel as a plugged channel. So if you want to go check it out, you can subscribe. If you're not open to ideas, or if you're very religious and you could easily be offended, I totally recommend you stay clear of my other channel. Just saying, I'm not out here to harm anybody or disrespect anyone or their beliefs. So I just like to challenge myself and challenge people who are wanting to look into that stuff. So going to sleep now, guys. Thank you. Ricky, talk to you later, bro. Later. And hit me up if you got a Facebook, brother. Let's see. Just keep going, Laura. Do you still go to meetings every day? I do not go to meetings every day. In fact, I'm usually out of town every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays. Depends. And when I get home on the weekends, like, I'm usually actively involved in these communities here online or through Facebook or through Instagram. Someone's constantly in communication with me, and I'm always working with an addict in some way, giving them advice. They're giving me, some motivation or tips or advice. My dad, who's on here, Ghost Dragon, he works with me. So technically we have our periodic meetings from time to time. Early on, I went to 2-3 meetings a day. I was not playing. I went in there, and the reason why is the fear of death. That was the very first thing that kept me going in there at first. And that's a good thing to go in there for. If you think, this thing's going to kill you, it's a good thing to start off with. So, all right, let's see. But yeah, I don't go every day. I haven't been in a while, and I would go in a heartbeat. and I'd feel comfortable going in. It's not I don't care about the Bible thumpers or the big book thumpers, I like to call them, that go in there and go, you have to be here every day, or you're gonna fall. Okay, to me, it's about practicing these principles in all of your affairs, and trying to make amends whenever possible, which I have one I need to work on right now, and that's me calling myself out. So I just program you do, smart recovery. If you're non-religious, they do the same concepts, and it's similar in nature, just minus having to have a deity, right? So, that's something. Ghost Dragon, so true. Sometimes it's just keeping a routine important. Just sitting at home does not help, especially with depression. True that, Pops. All right, it's okay. Think about getting on methadone. Do you think I should? I was thinking about getting on methadone. Do you think I should do that or bite the bullet and get clean cold turkey? Ooh, tough question. That's a very tough question. I think you should definitely seek professional help if you can. If you could see a doctor, totally recommend seeing a doctor. If you can go to rehab, I absolutely would recommend going to rehab or a detox center. Many people go down to the methadone clinic and they don't leave. Some do. But some of them have been there 5-6 years and don't plan on quitting. It's a matter of, do you just want to replace what you're currently on so that you can work on your life? You could do that by going to methadone if you're really trying to go in with the mission of trying to better your life and eventually get off the stuff altogether. But then again, keep in mind, you're going to have to wean down one day in the long run and withdraw off of that. Some say you can do it without pain if you do it the right way. I'm not very good at that, so I can't speak for everybody. All I could say is go see a doctor and go to a detox center or something like a rehab if possible. And they can really steer you in the right direction. They'll know your personal case. They'll know everything they need to know medically about you, what is healthy for you, what is suggested for you, how long you were using. Doctors know all about this stuff. They know way more than I can ever give you advice for. What's going on, big boss? And I do not try to give you advice on what you should do with a drug. Like, you need to go from this drug to that. Oh yeah, you need to. I really think it's totally recommended, though, you go see a doctor who might better give you advice on that, or rehab or detox. Enough said on that. So, and I think my pops would agree, being, in the medical field. All right. AA or NA. I always wondered what NA was all about. I've been to both. NA, AA, I go to both, but I mean, I'm an alcoholic too. But even if I wasn't an alcoholic, I don't care. I don't care if you don't like me going in there and I'm a drug addict. All you have to do, so you don't piss people off in AA, because there's some of them that are real strict. All you have to do is go in there and say, hey, I'm Derek and I'm an alcoholic. Even if you're a drug addict, just say you're an alcoholic. Whoop-de-doo. Change the word from drug to alcohol, and from use to drink. It's that simple. And I did that. I mean, I've done that, but I also had an alcohol problem. But my bigger problem was heroin. So I would do that and it fit right in. But yeah, I mean, whichever one, they both work. A lot of people are scared to go to NA. They say a lot of people who they use, there's dope dealers there and stuff. I don't know. I never went for that intention. I never socialized for those purposes. I went purposely to survive because I was going to die. I went cold turkey, but a rehab is better. Absolutely, Cindy. NA discussions will focus around narcotic use and on alcohol, but usually the basis for use of the two substances is the same. I have always gone to AA, but sometimes I find a divide because I never drank alcohol. It was always age. I totally understand. You need to find what works for you, brother. Rosin hand, 580. Don't trade one substance for another. Cold turkey is the only way. Well, look, I cold turkey, Jason. And I I was successful, but man, it took everything in me. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. So I'm not knocking the maintenance drugs if you're doing it under doctor's supervision and properly doing it. But I know guys, like I said, that they just shall go. They're going for years using this maintenance drug, and then they get off the maintenance drug and get right back on the drugs. So they never really dealt with the underlying problems. And I don't like waking up requiring something to feel better. Like I have to have something. That's just me. Rehab is the way to go. You're right, Cindy. Totally. I would go under medical supervision. That'd be awesome, Laura, if you did that. It's tough to do that. I know my counselor's the toughest lady on the planet. Look, I don't know what to tell you other than I would see someone who knows you better and can diagnose you better. That's what I would honestly do. Because what I did, man, it's ballsy. You know, you really risk not being successful. I've tried cold turkey at home before, and I wasn't successful. So, but this last go around, I was successful. You have to be absolutely determined through and through, and not everybody's that way. My dad even tells me, he texted me tonight. He said something about, remember, you're an exception, son. Not many people, something to this effect, not many people can do what you did successfully. And I hear a lot of people constantly, I tried again, Derek, and they write me, I tried again, and I just don't know how you did it. I can't stay without using. And I freaking empathize for that because I know the feeling, because it took everything in me not to use when I was, 5-6 days laying at night, rocking, going, and just wanting to feel better. So if you're in a facility where someone can give you the proper dose of medication to get you where you're not rocking and you're somewhat tolerating the pain, I'd recommend it. It was do or die. True that. Tough from the New England. Tell it was like it is. It would be a huge pay cut for me, but I would love to actually run the clip for once. Thank you, Mariah. I appreciate that. Right. Well, I mean, you got to do what you love, Laura, and that's something that you're going to want to do the longer you're in this recovery too. Great, Eddie. Proud of you, man. Look, ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas. It's coming. I hope Kurt comes out on the 25th. That would be awesome. If he comes out on Christmas Day, man, that'll be cool. We got to do a video. I don't know if they're going to release him. That would be really, really cool. So I'm about to get out of here. I love y'all. Until next time, for those of you who are sitting up all night, rocking, going, Derek, give me another video. I love these videos. Hey, I'm here with you. I'm not going nowhere. Write me a message on Facebook, Derek Lambert. It's spelled just like my channel. Check me out on Instagram. Write me on Instagram. If you guys like, the channel, you want to help support me, that's awesome. You can go to my PayPal, my Patreon, whatever. It's in the description. It helps me out, personally, and keeps me motivated, helps me keep, doing what I'm doing right now. So show me some love if you're able. Other than that, I'm not freaking stopping for nobody. I'm going to keep pushing, and you guys are going to keep pushing, and you're not going to give up. You guys are going to keep going. You're going to keep going, and I'm going to keep supporting you guys, your videos, your channels. We're going to make this world a better place. We're going to leave a dent in history helping people. So, like I said, write me on Facebook, write me on Instagram, because I get it. Where's my other phone? I get it on my phones, guys. I got my phone here. It goes right here, and it alerts me. I may not be able to respond, but I'll know that you wrote me. You guys, I love you. Hey, check me out in the description. Like I said, help me out if you can. If you can't, understand. If you have questions, Write me your questions. Dad, we're knocking down some questions. Make them hard if you want. I don't care. We're going to do another live feed, and we'll talk about these things, and we'll knock down these questions coming from an actual medical professional, my pops. So I love you guys. Thank you, Laura. Check out her channel, everybody. Samantha says, I've been on desperately. I've been on Suboxone for 10 years. I want to so desperate. 10 years. Desperately be sober 100% so over. But I'm so afraid of being sick for a long period of time. Look, Samantha, go wean down. Talk to your doctor. Tell them that you want to wean down off of the Suboxone. And work with them. Since you're already on it, work with them. You got to be willing, and you got to do it in small, long-term increments if you don't want to feel pain. But focus, on listening to what they're saying. Get involved in a recovery group somehow, and it'll help take your mind off of that. That's my recommendation personally. Talk to your doctor, or whoever you're getting your Suboxone from. If you're getting it off the streets, go talk to a doctor and say, look, I've been using Suboxone off of the streets, and I am an addict, and I need to come off. I know people who've used it on the streets and weren't prescribed. Talk to them. Be honest. Someone's going to help you. Honesty will go a long ways. Love you guys. Love you, Cindy. Where that merch link, though? I need some merch, right? Isn't that right? I need some merch. My kids always watch these guys on YouTube. They're always selling their merchandise, and they call it merch. That'd be cool. I'd love to eventually get to where we have, slogans and recovery shirts, and, that would be cool. I'd love to do that. But hey, one step at a time, everybody. Right now, I'm just trying to support family and get to a better spot right now. That's what I'm trying to do. So maybe someone else can, help with that. Shit, but 100 times better than I would with withdrawals at the point. Okay, lots of love, Derek. Thank you, Melissa. Xander, thank you. Keith, Dad, compulsory. Hey, look, you can go back and watch the whole thing from the get, and there's more to come. Ask questions, think of questions, things you really want to know, like whatever it might be. Keep doing your thing, Derek. Hopefully your brother is able to get out on Christmas. Man, he gets out on Christmas Day. Y'all better be ready. I'm doing a video. Send it out. Get it ready. Have people subscribe. Like the video. Hey, it helps me out. Like I said, YouTube sends me some gas money every month. And the more people who see this, it helps me out. I'm just trying to make it, bro. I'm trying to help everybody, too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring on the pain. Ricky, write me, man. Email derek4god7@gmail. DEREK, the number 4, God, G-O-D, the number 7 @gmail. Email me, write me on Facebook, write me on Instagram. I'm real. I'm not fake. I'm not playing any games. I'm here to help you. I'm dead serious. And I love you guys. I need to go show the family some love. I can't be on here all night now. But I would love to keep talking. That's, you guys are awesome. I love the energy. So good night, James. Love you guys. Kurt's coming soon. And hopefully I'll do another one between now and then. Oh, I know I will. So anyway, good night, y'all. And subscribe, like, check out the description. Later.